I'll be a rough one.
Roger, Wilco, we're coming in on a wing and a prayer.
Hang on tight. There's a bit of a side wind.
Roger, Wilco.
I can see the runway. We're going to be fine, Wing Commander.
We're going to be fine. You remembered?
What did I remember?
How'd you dance?
Oh, aye, dancing. I remembered. Of course I remembered. So, what are we doing today?
Dancing! We'll do nothing but dance the day out.
All day? Dancing? I'm out of puff already.
I'm only joking.
Oh, thanks be to Jesus for that, for I'm not able.
You were well able a moment ago.
Not anymore. I'm not able anymore. So, what are we doing today? Really?
What are we doing today? Sure, you asked me that 5 minutes ago, and 10 minutes ago, and 15.
I know! And I know you told me. But
We're going into town to do some shopping.
I knew it.
No, you didn't.
I did so.
Where are we going then, clever clogs? See, you haven't a notion, have you?
No, you're right, I haven't.
You need some new socks, and I need a cardigan. The evenings are cool enough.
Oh, aye. Socks, aye. I remember now.
You do great. That's more like it. You'd forget your own name, so you would. Head like a sieve.
Socks and a cardigan. Hey, here. Is there any more tea left before you go?
Oh, I give us your cup.
Here you go. Thanks. Memories. They're like songbirds. Sweet and brass in the morning, full of life and love, and loud enough to wake even the sleepiest of souls. In the daylight, they soften, dimmed by the weight of the hours. And by the evening, they're sweet and quiet, fading into the twilight. The dawn chorus is forgotten, and the light of the setting sun settles over the world, muffling the larks and the linnets. And as that star has slipped behind the hills, the birds are quiet, as if they've forgotten everything. But if you listen very carefully, if you concentrate, you can still hear the echoes swimming among the stars. Memories of songs, of mornings, memories of the wind and the rain, the sun and the clouds. They're not lost, not misplaced, just displaced, if you were. They're still there, somewhere. All we have to do is listen a little harder and sometimes fill in the gaps with the songs in our own hearts.
Are they all right, love? Still singing?
Hi, they're all right. And still singing. Somewhere.
That's good. That's good. Here's your tea, so.
Thanks. It's cold.
Sarah, put the kettle on again. This is Jerry. He's my husband in the play. Isn't that right, love?
That's right. And this is Sarah, my wife. In the play.
We're not married in real life.
Oh no, not married. No, we're just actors playing roles. Her real name is Valerie.
And his real name is Owen. Just actors in a play.
A play about dementia and about what that is.
But it's not really about dementia at all, is it? Like, not really.
No, you're right. It's not really.
In fact, you might say that it's a play is not about dementia at all, is it?
Not about dementia. No, not at all. It's a play about people, about life. A play about memories and what they mean.
what we remember and why we remember some things better than others. How sharing memories can help people feel better.
How it can bring people closer. And what happens to those memories when we get a little older.
Forgetting things, remembering things differently. So that's the play.
That's the play. Oh, neither of us has dementia, though both of us might do one day.
So you might think we know nothing about it. And we don't. Not really. We don't know what it feels like, what it means to a person.
We're here to see if we can show you a little of what we do know, though all we have are echoes, like distant birdsong.
Echoes of what dementia is and how it affects people. And we made this play so that we all might understand it a little better.
And it's not easy to understand, or to think about. It's not easy at all. But just like the songbirds, if we listen very carefully, we can catch half-heard songs and memories. We can catch fleeting glimpses of what it is. Is that kettlebell yet?
Oh, fresh pot. Would you be wanting a biscuit with that?
Nah. Maybe later. Are you wondering why the cages are empty? That's not so easy to explain. Oh, I could tell you that they all lived a full life. The linnets, the canaries and the mules. Oh, sorry, the mules. They're a cross, a hybrid. They can't reproduce, but they sing the sweetest songs of all. I could tell you that each song was a year, a week, a day, and sometimes just a moment. I could tell you that they're all up there, flying free, singing their hearts out. But if I'm honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I remember them at all. That's the thing about it. Some things stick in your head, others are just out of reach. You can't quite grasp the word or the thought. You know they're there, but they're just out of focus or out of time.
Here you go, so.
What?
Your tea. You wanted another cup, didn't you?
Why, thanks.
You want to know what we're doing today.
I just want to be sure.
Shopping, socks for you, cardigan for me.
Socks and a cardigan.
Here, no harm to you, Jerry, but you should change before we go into town. That jumper could stand up on its own.
Nothing wrong with it, is there?
You've been wearing it for a week.
Yeah. I think you're right. I should change it. I just finished my tea first.
Finish your tea and then change.
And then shopping. Socks and a...
A cardigan.
Socks and a cardigan.
Jesus, Jerry, would you watch? You'll scold yourself.
For God's sake, I'm not that daft. Can I go and change?
A dozen times a day, or more. Same question, or some variation on it. What are we doing today? Where are we going? Same bloody question. It's the drugs they had him on. That's what I thought at first. They make him dopey, forgetful. Drive you up the wall, so it would.
What shirt shall I wear?
The cowboy shirt, the one Angie got you for Christmas.
Where is it?
That shirt. It's hanging up. Jesus, I'm sure it's hanging up. I'm sure it was.
Isn't that how it all starts?
Forgetting things. Just little things.
Things you take for granted, like.
What are we doing today?
And?
Just what did we do yesterday?
And?
Why did you put the milk in the cupboard?
And?
Where the... It's a remote control.
You'd not notice. Not even if you were married to them for 30 years.
You're so used to being with them, so used to sharing your life that you compensate.
You don't notice. Or you blame it on the drugs or tiredness or maybe it's her hearing.
And you don't notice that you're filling in the gaps, finishing his sentences, excusing the unreliable mind of the one you love.
Milk in the cupboard? What do you like?
Have you lost lost your marbles altogether. I told you we were going shopping at least 3 times.
Very cunning. Hiding the remote like that, and with the dog's toys. Haha, very cunning.
Do you not remember what David told you, Jerry? Jeez, it was only yesterday afternoon. For God's sake, I think you're going to, Lally. I really do. Head like a sieve.
And you compensate and correct.
And you write notes to yourself, in case, you know.
And you put the milk away in the cupboard.
He laughs and puts it in the fridge.
But you can catch glimpses in their eyes.
Questioning. Concern.
But you laugh it off until the next time.
And the next time.
And the next time. Cowboy shirt, you see?
Oh yes, I love that shirt.
Angie got it for me, didn't she?
Aye. For Christmas. It's hanging up.
I'll put it on. Just for you. Just for today.
Thanks. And you do laugh it off until the next time. And then one day, you can't laugh it off anymore. So you make an appointment and you say nothing, not even to the kids, for you don't know what the doctor will say. And you sit in the waiting room, in amongst all the coughs and the wheezes, and you feel like a fraud almost, for there's nothing really wrong with you. Leastways, nothing that anyone can see. You're still the same person you were before, only 1 or 2 of the bird cages are empty, and you can't fathom it. You can't seem to...
Mrs. McGuire, how are you? How are you?
I'm well, Doctor. Well, no. I'm not well. At least, I don't think I am.
So you're well and you're not well. Which is it?
Well, the first one and the second.
I'm afraid, Mrs. McGuire, you've lost me.
Well, I'm well, I'm fine, you know, apart from a few creaks in the legs, but I'm not well, for I'm worried about Jerry.
So Jerry's not well then?
Well, he is, and he isn't. He's fine, you know. Those pills you have him on have made a huge difference. But, well, it's hard to put my finger on it. He's always been a bit distracted, you know, always had a head like a sieve. But lately, he is forgetful. Just little things, you know.
Oh yes, Mrs. McGuire. Well, the tablets he's on, the beta blockers, they can make you a little tired, and perhaps that's part of the problem. Maybe you could get him to come in and we'll see if we can look at trying him on something else.
It's not the pills, Doctor. At least I don't think it is. And you tell him you've noticed it for a while, and you watch his eyes, but he doesn't give anything away. So you say thanks and sorry to have bothered you, and he says...
No bother at all, Mrs. McGuire. You get Jerry to come in and we'll see what's what.
And as you leave, he says...
And don't you worry about a thing.
So you smile and say thank you. But you can't help it. There's a niggling doubt that it might just be, well, you know, that word.
Dementia. Alzheimer's accounts for 60 to 80% of cases, though there are a number of other causes. Most of my patients are in their late 60s, though early onset dementia can affect people in their 40s and younger. There are a number of other types with specific symptoms, such as vascular dementia, frontotemporal or posterior cortical atrophy. We in the medical profession can certainly determine that a person has dementia, though it is harder to discern the exact diagnosis because brain changes and symptoms of different dementias overlap.
And at home, you look on the Google just to see if there's anything that's caused it. If it is it, you know. And then you see a list of 10 things to look out for. And as you're reading down the page, you're thinking, well, that could be me too. You know, forgetting things and feeling a bit down and the like. So you laugh it off again and you put it out of your mind until the next time.
Well, yippity-doo-dah-dee! Howdy, partner. Fancy coming into town to get me some new sacks?
Sacks, Jerry?
Well, yippity-doo-dah-and-dee! We're going to get my Western girl a new cardigan too. But first, I want to hold on to you tight and dance around the room. Yee-haw! Music.
But I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I'll just unhitch these horses and we'll make our way into town to get me a saloon bar and a bottle of whiskey. Yee-haw!
You don't like whiskey, Jerry?
Don't I?
No, you big Egypt. Come on, you're in the pilot seat today.
Righto, wing commander. Contact,
Ha! Contact.
throttle up.
And away we go.
Port or starboard?
Port. Into town, it's that way.
Oh, of course it is. I knew that. Music?
Of course. Oh, he loves his music, so he does. Listens to all sorts. You'd be surprised.
Oh, I love my music. I'll listen to anything.
Aye. Sometimes it's only a racket.
Not this, though. This is the king of rock and roll.
We're calling a friend. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
Yeehaw! What's up? Let's go get it in. All right, son. All right.
He knows this road like the back of his hand. It's like he's got a sat-nav in his head. He could fly up here blindfolded.
Oh, I could. But I don't think that would be a good idea.
Ah, well, you know what I mean. He just points the old jalopy in the right direction and off we go.
Aye, she's my co-pilot.
Aye, sometimes, and sometimes I'm the pilot,
And I'm the co-pilot.
and sometimes we just see how it goes.
That's right, love. We take it as it comes and see how it goes. Your turn. That's so.
Hello, Mr. McGuire.
Hello, Doctor. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself, Mr. McGuire?
I'm grand. I was expecting to see Doctor. Yeah, I've forgotten his name. Doctor.
Dr. Gallagher.
That's the book. Not about, is he?
No, Dr. Gallagher's away on holidays. You'll have to put up with me.
Anywhere nice?
I'm sorry?
Has he gone anywhere nice?
Crete, I think.
Oh, lovely spot. I
So, you're here about?
don't know. The doctor told the wife that he wanted to see me. Dr. Gallagher said he wanted.
Any idea why?
No, none whatsoever.
So, you don't know why you're here?
No. That's your job.
Oh, well, let me have a look at your notes. Ah, I see you're on beta blockers for your heart condition.
Why, those little things are well serious. That me running around as if I'm in a daze.
Yes, they can have some very unfortunate side effects. Ah, I see your wife mentioned she worried you were a little forgetful.
Head like yourself. Bet you that's what she said. And you know, she's right too. I'd forget my head if I wasn't screwed on. But she's worse than me, mind. You know, when she's chatting to the children, she gets their names mixed up. Angie gets David, and Philip gets Angie and the other one.
The other one?
Aye, we've 4 kids.
David, Philip, Angie, and...
The other one. That's daft. Head like yourself. But Sarah's worse than me, mind.
I see. Well, usually in this case, we like to try a few little tests.
Tess, she said. Tess. So I asked her, what type of test? And she said,
On your memory and motor skills, just to see if we can work out what's going on.
and I said to her, There's nothing wrong with my driving. Clean license for the past 30 years.
No,
And she said,
not that sort of motor skills.
Tess, as if I was some sort of school kid.
We check for signs of cognitive impairment.
That's me forgetting things. So she says.
There are several tests we can do, the Folstein MMSE or online alternatives like the GP Cog or 6CIT. Very simple, half a dozen questions just as an indicator.
Drawing clock faces, remembering addresses, asking what date it is.
We score the patient, or in some cases we might ask their partner or spouse some questions just to see where we're at and if we're worried.
And she was.
And if we're worried, we'll refer them to the memory clinic.
Memory clinic? Ha! You'd think I was plain daft the way she went on. Ah, I know they're trying to be sympathetic, but sometimes I think they haven't a clue. Yeah, you know, they read all about it in their textbooks, but living with it, that's a whole different ballgame. Hurry up, Sarah.
And 1341 Media Road.
I just want to talk to Shauna.
Radio One
Oh, Shauna's our neighbour. Oh, for God's sake. Hurry up, Sarah!
Oh, I'm sorry. Here. They're playing our song.
Oh, aye. Special request just for you.
Oh, really?
No. But we can pretend.
Aye. We can pretend. We do a lot of that nowadays, don't we, cowboy?
We do. We do. So, where are we off to?
Shopping, socks, cardigan.
I knew it. I knew it!
Keep your hat on, cowboy. There's no need for any of that carry on.
Sorry.
It's all right. Ach, it's all right. Oh, no, there's roadworks.
We'll be all right. Co-pilot, you just tell me.
The sat-nav in his head. It gets us from our house into town without a second thought. Unless something changes. If there's something different. If there's a diversion or roadworks or an accident. He can't change the map. He gets upset and confused. And he snaps at me. I should be used to it by now. He never used to swear, but nowadays he would put sailors to shame. So we pretend it's all normal and get on with our lives.
We pretend. And I don't mean to swear. It's like there's somebody else in my head. I get confused at the smallest thing. Like if she's hoovered and moved my chair. Where are you at? Where are you at? Jeez.
I put the furniture back exactly where it was now. See, the first time it happened, I didn't know what was wrong. All because I moved his chair 6 inches away from where it had been. They don't tell you these things. They don't tell you about these stupid little things that would drive you mad and drive him to tears. And all because they don't know themselves.
I don't tell you. So we have to tell each other and navigate through it all.
Finish his sentence. Help him with a word he can't find. We pretend it's all normal and get on with our lives.
Pilot.
And co-pilot. Or the other way around.
But I'm scared. Like I have this test to see if I can still drive. And what if I?
Jerry, you will fly through that.
I hope so. I hope so.
Now, don't wander off like last time.
Sorry.
I'm just going to try this on.
I thought you wanted to buy a cardigan.
25% off? You can't pass that by. I'll only be a couple of minutes.
Only be a couple of minutes. That's all she said. Don't wander. And I did. Wander. And then I couldn't find my way back. Aye, all right, this wee girl said to me. I didn't know who she was, where I was. Jesus. She sat me down and wondered why I was crying. I couldn't tell her. She went and got the manager, and he kept asking me all these questions. What is your name, sir? Is there anyone with you? Don't wander off. That'll only be a minute. And he kept asking all these questions. I couldn't remember, and I couldn't.
Jerry! Jerry!
Oh my God, love, there you are. It's all right. It's all right, love. He's fine. He just gets a bit forgetful. He has Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease. Well, it's all right. Things just slip his mind. No, you can't catch it. I thought he'd be all right while I tried a dress on. I'm sorry, really, I'm sorry. Come on, you love.
I didn't know where you were, and I panicked. I'm sorry, I'm so daft.
No, you're not. Come on, cowboy.
The look on that fellow's face as if I was some sort of madman. God.
You see it a lot when you tell people, like it's the most terrible thing in the world. Their faces change. Sometimes it's concern. Sometimes it's fear.
And sometimes it's pity. And that's the most hurtful, the most painful of all. I'm still here. I'm still the same man I ever was. I'm still Jerry, the husband, the father. I'm still me.
If they only knew that. If they only realised. And it's not everyone, of course. It's not the unmentionable disease that it used to be, but sometimes, even with friends, you can see it in their eyes. You know that thing people do? Alzheimer's.
Oh, and the other thing, when they start talking about you, and you're standing there, right in front of them. Hello? I'm not deaf, you know. I'm not deaf.
You can see it in their eyes.
You can see it in their eyes.
It's the same with him. If you ask him something, if you look really closely, if you're facing him and watch his eyes, he might answer you straight away.
Sure, of course.
Or he might look up, and that's when you know he's searching for the answer.
Aye. Yes.
Or he might look at you, just the briefest of glances, just to check that he's got it right, and you'll smile to let him know.
I definitely wouldn't forget that now, would I?
And then sometimes there's nothing. And you can see all the fear and panic and frustration in one look. His eyes tell you so much more than he ever could.
And it's not that I've forgotten. It's like it was never there. And it's daft. Because I can remember the colour of the walls in the room I slept in when I was a child. I can remember the smell of the schoolroom. I can tell you what my teacher looked like, Master Thomas, right down to the tweed jacket that he wore. I could draw you a map of where we lived with every tree and every house. I could tell you all about the bird shows we used to go to when I lived in England. The fowl and a hall full of fowl and songbirds and the feathers drifting in the air, the sounds and the smells. And then I go and get myself lost in a shop.
Come on, you love. Sit yourself down and get your breath back. Oh, my heart was in my mouth, so it was.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Jerry, would you stop apologising? Hey, you have nothing to be sorry for. That day at the memory clinic, the long wait, the tests and samples,
Poking and prodding.
Questions, more questions, and cups of tea.
Oh, aye. And then they stuck me in that goddamn awful machine, thrust up like a chicken.
The MRI showed some abnormalities.
She's been saying that about me for years.
And there's him, in the middle of all this, in the consultant's office, and he goes,
I thought a brain was round.
Jerry.
Well, I mean, look at it. It looks like a...
Like a brain.
Aye, I suppose you're right. Well, I just thought. And then the consultant, nice fella, pipes up. Would you like to be told, Jerry? Aye. You have Alzheimer's, Jerry.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. You had better go home and get your affairs in order. I never had an affair. And he spoke for another half an hour or so. I didn't know what to say.
And there's not much as him lost for words.
Alzheimer's. Does that mean I'll have to go into,
What are you talking about?
Alzheimer's. I've heard about it, but I thought that only affected old folk.
Alzheimer's. I knew what it was. And I couldn't stop the tears.
There, look. We'll be all right. We'll be okay. Yeah.
They were very good. They explained it all, gave us leaflets and a helpline number. But we were both numb.
Numb. Aye. Numb.
We went home. Called the kids. They all came round, apart from Julie.
That's the other one. That's her name. Julie. In America, isn't she?
Aye, in America, in Boston.
And we sat and we talked all night.
And there were more tears.
And the following day, they put me on this tablet, one a day, just to slow it down. But it made me feel awful.
Lost his appetite and sick as a dog.
So they changed it. Give me a patch to put on my arm, and that was a lot better.
It only slows it down. The Alzheimer's. For there's no, well, not right now there isn't, but they're working on it. But right now there's no.
She can't say it. She couldn't say it. She still can't say it. So I have to. There's no cure. Not yet.
But they are working on it.
Aye. They're working on it. They're working on it. Will you stop your fussing?
Don't snap at me. I'm only trying to help.
Yeah, well, you're making a scene, so you are.
I'm making a scene. You're the one that wandered off.
Yeah, right, okay, right. Well, it's done now. I'll tell you what. I want to go home. I can murder a cup of tea.
Fine. But go in there and use the loo first.
She reminds me. All the bloody time.
Are you all right in there?
I'll be glad if you stop roaring at me.
I'm only asking.
Aye, well, look, man. Put me off, so you are.
I spoke with Dr. Gallagher. Quietly, you know, about all of these sorts of things. He put my mind at rest, and the leaflets were very good. And the Google machine was really useful. I was reading up all about memory. He goes on about his songbirds. But to me, our lives are written in a book. Each page is a separate moment written as we experience it. But every time we go back to the memory, there are penciled in notes in the margins, words crossed out, those sticky post-it notes, and all sorts of changes. Every time we remember, the memory is different. Not false or wrong, but changed by life and experience. Jerry's book, it's missing a few pages from near the end. But all the early chapters are there. And I hope they'll be there for a long time to come. That's what I hope. And it's what you hang on to. That the pages won't be ripped out. That his life will still be written down. Remembered. Real. That he'll still be Jerry. My husband. The father of our children. The man I married 30 odd years ago. My Jerry.
Right. Where are we off to?
Home and then tea.
Great. I can murder a cup of tea.
Your zip.
My what?
Your zip.
Home? Yes?
Home.
Never got my socks.
No, you have enough. Let's not worry about them today. Let's not worry about anything else today. You could tell he was upset after the clinic. Not that he'd let on, but he was quiet for a few days and I wouldn't be like him. The kids were great. They all came round as often as they could, and Julie came back from Boston and stayed with us for a week, which was lovely. Oh, we miss her so much. Now, Daddy, I was reading on the internet, and it says that you should take cod liver oil and multivitamins. I got you these drinks from the chemist.
Who's they?
It's just there are all sorts of support groups, and they reckon it really helps,
Yeah, but
you know.
Julie, hold on a minute now.
And you need to watch what you eat as well. It's just, there are certain foods that you shouldn't eat. And you
Well,
need to
hold
keep
on.
your strength up, you know. Eat your nuts and greens and stay away from processed food and sausage.
Hold on there a minute now. Now listen here, all of you. I know you mean well.
Daddy.
Hear me out. I know you mean well, but I'm not a baby. I don't want to be wrapped up in cotton wool. No sausages. Yes, I have Alzheimer's, but I'll burst your head if you keep on treating me as if I'm some sort of invalid. You want to see their faces? I know they mean well, but I've been suffocated with all these good intentions. And do this. Don't do that. Oh, do this. Don't do that. No sausages. I listen to them. And I smile and I nod. And then I carry on and do whatever I wanted to do in the first place. Oh, aye. And those vitamin drinks. Vile. The kitchen cupboard is full of them. I slipped one to the dog the other day when no one was looking. He didn't even touch it. No sausages. Huh?
What are you still doing in that shirt? You promised me you'd change. You've had it on for 3 days. And anyway, we've got company coming, remember?
Company?
Aye, I told you this morning 3 times the university lady, she's coming to have a chat.
Well, hold on a minute now. What university lady?
They're doing a study into dementia and they're bringing an iPad for us.
Sure, what would I want with one of them?
Aaron, Jesus, he is hopeless with anything made after 1975. Let me tell you, when we first got the computer and our Julie tried to show him how to work it.
It says here I have to click something or...
Yes, Dad, with the mouse, the right button, click it here.
Oh, holy God, what have I done? What's Google?
It's the search engine. It's how you find things on the internet.
And what would I want to be doing that for?
Well, you can book flights and look up things.
Oh, like what?
Like anything you can think of. Look, you just click here and type in a word.
What word?
3 days. She sat with him for 3 days. Oh, I could see her patience wearing thin. And did he remember how to do anything? Not a jot of it. I have to do it for him. And he's not stupid. Not at all. It's just, he can't get his head around it.
What can't I get my head around?
The computer.
Oh, that thing? Yeah. Tape this, tape that. Yeah. Google this, Google that, gaggle.
Google.
That's what I said.
So were you going to change?
What for?
The university lady.
No. She can take me as she finds me.
Ah, Jerry, you are impossible.
I might be, but you still love me all the same.
Aye, I do. Even the impossible bits. Here, that must be her. You sit there and I'll get the door.
Sit here. Sit here. I do a lot of that nowadays. Sitting here, thinking. She puts on the telly for me and I can watch me programmes. Nature documentaries are my favourite. Oh, with that English fella. Oh yeah, David Attenborough. And I watch the odd film too. The old black and whites. Watch them over and over. It's comforting, I suppose. And she sits out in the kitchen with the other telly on, watching her programmes. She likes crime drama. No use me watching them with her, for she says I ask too many questions. But I forget who's who and what's what and who done it. It drives her crazy, so it does.
Oh, he does that. Well, that was before the university gave us the tablet.
Another one. I want to be rattling like a set of maracas.
That sort you dope the iPad.
Oh, that yuck.
Aye, the yuck. Before, we'd sit in different rooms. He'd watch the TV and I'd listen out, if he needed anything. He's better in the morning, but he gets tired easily and a wee bit more confused in the evening. Sundowning, they call it. But the tablet changed him. In fact, it changed both of us. There's a photo album, all our old holiday snaps, weddings, all scanned in, all in the one place.
How will you look at the wins? Oh God, they were a handful back then. Oh, and look at Philip with the butter with melt, look. Oh, and mind that holiday in Bundoran. David got lost in the amusements, a new one, buck mad.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, Achill Island. Remember? It rained for a week and we were stuck in the caravan slowly going crazy.
We played cards and snakes and ladders and stared out the Mayo mist.
Will you look at Angie? She looked lovely in that dress. 3 kids now.
4.
4? Jeez, I can't keep up.
And there are videos of all sorts.
Our anniversary! And your cousin Jack, look, dancing to that ABBA song like a whale.
And Sheila hitting the sherry and running around pitching every young one of them.
She was a terror on the sherry.
Do you mind that time at the fair? And you were near terrified on that whizzy round machine.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't walk straight for a week. I remember Julie threw up on the folks in front of us.
Holy God, how
God
could I forget?
almighty.
And the yoke is so easy to use, even he can get his head around it.
And the best thing of all, the music, all in one place. I'd be lost without it. It's part of my life now.
I can't get him off it.
The little things you say and do make me want to be with you. Rain on this crazy feeling, and I know it's got me leaving when you say I love you. Rain on
Baby, you just ain't thinking of nothing yet. Feel something that you're never gonna forget. Baby, you just ain't thinking of nothing yet.
When God created a woman for me, He must have been in a beautiful mood to show the world what a woman could be. When He created a woman like you. Sun is shining in the sky.
so he is. But he's happy. Eric takes him off into his own little world. It's all the memories there in one place, so even if he doesn't remember, he can just flick through the photos. You can see his eyes light up. And you know what's really strange? You know the way they say every cloud is a silver lining? Well, the yoke, as he calls it, has brought us closer together. We can sit for hours on the sofa and chat about the old times. The holidays and the parties, the weddings and the wakes. And we forget all about the Alzheimer's. It's just the two of us, chatting about the life we've had together. It's helped him find himself again. The Jerry I married. The Jerry I love. Aye. Even if he is acting aged. It's helped him find himself again. And I know that there's still so much more inside that you could never fit into the yoke. So much more inside. All those songbirds singing their hearts out, singing our lives and our memories, singing our joys and our sadness. And he's right, you know. If you listen carefully, you can hear every single one of them. You just have to take your time and listen.
Who are you talking to?
Them.
Oh, hi. Them?
Aye. They're listening now, I think.
To the songbirds?
Aye. To every single one of them. Beautiful, aren't they?
Aye. Beautiful. Did I tell them about the time when we lived in England and all the bird shows we used to go?
You told them that, love.
Head like a sieve. So, what are we doing today?
Do you know that is only the 6th time you've asked me that this morning?
6th? Jeez, I'm getting better, am I?
Getting better, or at least not getting any worse. And that's nearly the end of our play. A play about dementia, but not really.
About two old folks remembering their lives and laughing.
Remembering the good times and the not so good.
Sharing the echoes of what we've learned.
Sharing the moments and the memories.
But it's not over. There are still a few more songs to sing, a few more things to say.
We hope you can hear those songs in your own lives.
And it's not easy. But you might catch a note drifting in the wind every now and then.
They're singing.
Don't treat me like a leper.
They're singing.
Include me in your conversations. Even with this diagnosis, I'm still capable of so many things.
They're singing.
Don't write me off. Don't mollycoddle me. Let me live my life. I want to keep myself busy.
They're singing still.
My name is Jerry. I have dementia. But I'm still here.
They're singing still. Everyone in memory, a moment in time. I get asked about the future. What'll you do? You know, when? And they can't say it. And I don't know. I don't know how things will be. Jerry used to tell this story, and it makes more sense now.
Oh, there was this fella, and he was sentenced to death by the king.
That's a bit harsh.
Oh, aye. Well, as the verdict was announced, the man says...
Wait! If you spare my life, I promise that in 1 year I'll teach your favourite horse to talk.
The king was intrigued. Figured he had nothing to lose and agrees. Afterwards, the man's friend says, "Are you crazy? You'll never teach the king's horse to talk." The man laughs and says,
Think of it this way, I have a year and a lot can happen in a year. I might die.
"The king might die.
The horse might die.
And who knows, the horse might even talk."
And that's how we go on now. Day to day. Wondering if the horse might talk.
That maybe there'll be a new treatment or a cure.
Living one day at a time. Getting through it, not pretending anymore. Just living with it.
Day to day. Even when I do drive her crazy.
Day to day, and I've promised him I'll look after him. And so, we get on with living our lives. Even if he does drive me crazy.
So, what are we doing today?
7.
No, I'm sorry, but what are we doing today?
We are going on a little trip.
Great! Where?
Well,
Where?
when we first met, you promised me the moon.
I was young and daft.
You might have been, but I'm holding you to it. Come on, Wing Commander, you're my pilot today.
And you're my co-pilot. To the moon, you say?
To the moon and beyond, me and you together.
Roger, we'll go. Contact, throttle up.
And away we go!
Fill my heart with song.